Tonight, from First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
We come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight we reach the unofficial midway point of the season with a good Monday night battle between the Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25.
The Browns take over.
Here's the Cleveland offense, and here's Baker Mayfield, former Heisman Trophy winner, ready to go at quarterback.
It's okay if I give him a few props right here. Do you mind?
I think he's earned it. Go ahead.
Okay, how about a guy who was a two-time walk-on, who later became a two-time Big 12 Player of the Year, has the most touchdown passes in Big 12 history with 129, a Heisman Trophy into his credit, and took his team to the college football playoff semifinal twice while at Oklahoma.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some... Accelerating, and off he goes. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And the Lions are able to cover this one up.
The onside kick recovered by the Lions.
We see Matthew Stafford, the one-time Georgia Bulldog, set to pilot the offense of the Detroit Lions.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again. Stafford. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's going to go down again. Myles Garrett in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Mayfield off the play fake. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
1st and 10 at the 25.
How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
Mayfield's pass
Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6. Second and goal.
Second and goal. At the 2-yard line.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Browns add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
35-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up first and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. Back to throw, Stafford. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. comes the Lions punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is fielded at the 27. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Mayfield on first down. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Over the middle to Beckham. And bulldozing his way through. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, let was right there.
Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 4 yards out. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
And it is now 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up.
The onside kick recovered by the Lions.
Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also, it may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things, and it won't come back and hurt them later.
First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Stafford. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. The Browns D locked in on 3rd down, brings up 4th.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that The mantra everywhere, got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Now Nick Chubb and the Browns get set for their next possession. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity.
It's caught inside the 25.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tackle.
The guy of his speed needs, if you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
33-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game.
Don't when you get
to finish these drives and end.
First down throw, Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another op. Because that's the word we use when we intercept your team to wrap.
It's celebration.
But boy, he's playing really well.
And he's got it. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only is some vindication as well, because
and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. His way into the end zone for a Browns. Nick Chubb, touchdown number 22 on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the return, Clement. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
Are you a Browns
but you have to be
fan?
careful about
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Sheldon Richardson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
But it's third down.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. Past the 20.
What you doing out there, boy?
Takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run.
That's
not
was
just getting
funny,
after the
thanks.
quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receiver.
I was celebrating the whole time I had the ball.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Space to maneuver at the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Are you serious?
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They wound up getting nothing out of that second down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10. Here's Stafford. On Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. Without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful, because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Following the interception, Mayfield. And his throw is incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Keep it up, guys. Mike 51, Mike 51.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. but that's one step in the proper direction.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. That's caught by Treadwell. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down. Seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Prater's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
46.
Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
6.
It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Automatic 1st down.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They run out of the gun with Swift, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford, and that's caught by the tight end Bryant. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
The Lions 1st down.
Now a toss for Swift left side. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Target. Lions 57's mine.
Here's Stafford. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right?
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Sheldon Richardson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, first down. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Second and 7.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
At the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 4. Brings up third.
Here's Mayfield. They've got his man complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Play fake. Mayfield. Man open. That's Damian Ratley. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. A good pickup there. 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Try to drop one in, but it's incomplete. Nick Chubb, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back. Unsuccessful.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the ball ends up out of bounds, so it'll be a loss on the play. Can almost see inside his face mask there, the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on first and goal to add some extra mass. They'll give it to Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Browns are pouring it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Yeah,
what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the posts. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on.
What?
Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I couldn't understand. You want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad.
It smelled terrible. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 right at the 30.
What we got? 57.
Out of the gun, he'll throw. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 39-yard line.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford over the middle. He's got Treadwell. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
A gain of 7. 1st down, Detroit.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Once more, he was trying to get it to Kenny Galladay. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Williams on the coverage.
To throw again. Stafford. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
Now throwing on 1st down and completing it. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
At the Browns' 38-yard line.
I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. Get this. You're all mine.
From the gun, Stafford. He'll find Bryant, his tight end. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
1st down, Lions.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Stafford, Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Grant Delpit on the coverage.
Stafford gets it quickly to Galladay. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Browns take over.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Mayfield finding Beckham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Mayfield hands to Chubb on the draw. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
At the 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. And Detroit getting set to go now. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Throwing again. Stafford. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
3rd down.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here comes the Lions punter now. Standing about a yard deep in his own end zone.
Grant Delphin on the coverage.
Take it at the 37. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game.
For the field goal, a 67-yard attempt.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Browns, they continue to cruise through this first